And we are back on Lowcountry Money Talk. Of course, Phil is still with me. And so we had a little drama in the first segment, and now we're going to talk about some more drama that's coming up in the spring and summer with the debt limit situation.
Yeah, that's a nice thing we get into every year.
Yeah, lots of fun.
Big fight, you know. I think it's more about leveraging because really neither political party cares much about the debt or they wouldn't spend so much money.
I mean, they just open the purse strings whenever they want.
So that's going to be with the market will probably fluctuate on that, so we move from the banks, now we'll move to the next drama. It almost seems like we just keep going through this and the stock market go up and the stock market go down. And, it's just kind of a positioning thing.
Yeah.
I always get a kick when they say, they want us to default on our debt, and we're never going to default on our debt. It's not going to happen. There's a big printing press right over there. We just crank them dollar bills right out. So,
well, let's talk about that because that is, I suppose, one of the solutions. A couple other solutions might be to, like you said, cut spending, or, of course, their favorite thing to do, raise taxes.
Raise taxes, okay. So if we're thinking about our own household, right? So if we have too much going out and not enough coming in, we've got to trim something.
Right.
So either we have to work more jobs, bring more revenue in. That would be taxes for the government, right? Because they don't really work. The other thing we could spend less. So it's like, do I need that? Oh, maybe not. Okay, government's not really good at spending.
The government never says that. The government never says maybe not. Maybe we don't need that.
Right. So taxes, spend less, or just print more money. And that's kind of what we're into now. That's why we have inflation.
Right.
So the Federal Reserve is carrying too much of our debt on their balance sheet. Trillions and trillions. I lose count whether it's 6 or 9. It's a bunch.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Lots of zeros.
Right. So what they're doing, they keep raising interest rates because there's too much cash supply out there. So they want less cash supply. So they have to slow everything down. And so far they haven't been able to do it because the job reports keep coming out. People are still getting jobs and all this. But there's a lot of bubbles in the line because what they do today, it may take a while for it to come out the other side. So a lot of people are worried that, I don't think there's going to be this soft landing they talk about. I was in marine aviation. I've been in some hard landings.
I know
what they are.
I don't want to be in those with you, but that is a term that's being thrown around a lot these days. Is it's going to be a hard landing?
Yes. Yeah. So that to me that's not a good thing. I don't think so. It doesn't sound good. So I saw something this week. It said for every dollar in revenue that the government brings in, they're spending $1.29.
Fabulous.
Yeah. How would your home function on that,
I wouldn't have a home anymore.
What we thought.
At some point, right?
Hey, we could move to San Francisco.
Yes.
Get a tent, sleep outside, and serve on the bank aboard the one that just failed.
That's right. Perfect. We would have the exact skill set to be on that board.
We'd take a bath in the San Francisco Bay. So that's kind of what they're looking at. So let's take a look and say, what about your retirement?
Yeah.
What can we do? Because this stuff, I mean, there's not much we can do. These people are doing what they can do. I guess we can vote or whatever, but it still goes on that way. So the one thing I would think we could do is we can control, and when people come in to see me, there's a few things I see, Betsy. One, they seem to be spending too much in expenses for the management of their retirement funds. So the first thing you want to do is say, hey, am I overpaying in expenses?
Yeah.
Most people that I see, there's an opportunity to cut expenses.
That's a good thing. That's a really
good thing. It's like a pay raise.
Yeah.
Okay, the government doesn't get that, but we do. Yeah. So we can cut expenses. The other thing we can do is on the show we always talk about the 3 buckets and where we take our income from and this and that. So depending on where we take our income, it's taxed at different ways. So usually there's people that come in, there's another opportunity for saving in taxes because maybe they're taking their income from the wrong bucket. So maybe we can save on expenses of investments and save on taxes. Then the third area would be how much do we want to risk in Wall Street until they get their act together? I would be careful with that one. Yeah. So, we usually say the rule of 100 on the show all the time. So, it'd be a great time to take your age, subtract it from 100 and say, hey, this is all I want in the equity Wall Street bucket for now. because it's volatile.
Right.
So those are the three things. You know, we take a look at saving on expenses, retirement, how much we want to put at risk, the rule of 100, and saving in taxes.
Okay.
We can control that.
We can.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah. Take control of your retirement, right?
Because nobody else is going to do it for us.
Nobody else is.
Nobody else is going to do it for us. Yeah.
The thing that we're going to hear Congress talk about, hey, Social Security is going bankrupt, Medicare, it's nothing new. We've heard that for decades.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's like, you know, let's look at what we can do. You know, how do we take our Social Security? What makes sense for us? Let's take control.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, as we all know, it would be a fool's errand, right, to trust the government that they're going to take care of us, to trust any of those outside sources. So we need to trust ourselves and have somebody that we can trust guiding us, and that would be you, right? So you need to call Rachel so that you can have your review with her for free, and you can get this guy's expertise. So make sure you're giving them a call, and we'll be back with a lot more. Stay with us.